So I've got a little program here which, excuse me, I plan to put up on my blog at some point, which shows all the different styles of text rendering that are available to you in WPF4. So one of the new things, that one the mouse pointer's over right now, is disabling anti-aliasing and clear type completely. You know, the good old pixelated stuff that used to be the norm before Windows XP shipped. That is now supported. Up at the top here, we've got the same sort of font bending mechanisms that Windows XP uses today. If I go down a bit, we've got some variations on different degrees of fuzziness. So the one my mouse pointer is over right now looks particularly hazy. Notice that the top of the T is sort of smudged over 2 pixels, whereas the ones around it are a bit more sort of accurate. Why would you ever want to make things more fuzzy? I just want to illustrate this. If I start animating these things, if I click this button, it will run an animation that changes the font size of everything on there. Notice anything odd about the top half. One of the upshots of going for the old style font rendering is that it doesn't really know anything other than integer font sizes. It doesn't do sort of fractionally scaled stuff. So if you try and animate that sort of thing, it will cog from one thing to another. Now actually you can sort of override that. I'm animating the font size. If instead I apply a scale transform, it will sort of work. But if you look at the 4th, 5th, and 6th lines, there's a sort of weird strobing effect going on. They're sort of waggling all over the place. That is an illustration of exactly the sort of thing that goes wrong if you don't pursue the fidelity route. If you go for the sort of pixel sharpness route, things go weird as soon as you start to animate them. And I could spend the rest of the day explaining why that is. If you wish to know, come and talk to me afterwards. There's all sorts of reasons why that's the case. But this is why we have different styles. As soon as you start bringing in animations, you discover you actually tend to want things to be a bit more blurry. If I zoom back in, some of these things are not like the others. So some of them are jumping around. Some of them are being a bit more stable. And the ones that look the most stable as we animate are actually the ones that look the blurriest when they're not moving. That is the trade-off. If you have more blur to start with, essentially you can get away with more. You have more flexibility to keep things looking consistent as you go from one frame to the next. So, all these different modes are now available to us, so you can pick exactly what you want. You're no longer stuck with WPF making a decision for you as to what it thinks happens to be the best text rendering mechanism. You can choose the one that suits your application.